The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. Welcome back, because we're on to chapter 12, Brother Loyola. Miss Willick! Emmy jumped. Miss Willick, are you all right? Master Barlow was staring at her like she was about to be sick. She was about to be sick. The room was spinning and her stomach lurched like she had run too many wind sprints. Barlow looked at the signature and something in his expression changed, as if he really knew what she was looking at. He glanced back at Emmy and the strange expression was gone. Maybe she'd just imagined it. Perhaps you should go to the medical center. No, Emmy said. I think I just need to lie down. Very well, but take Miss Boyd and Mr. Galt with you in case you need some assistance. Emmy stumbled to the door and took a deep breath of salty air. Just get back to Audrey House. Just get back to Audrey House. 1 foot in front of the other. The common room was empty when they got there. Most classes were still in session. Emmy sat on the edge of the nearest chair and rubbed her face. Do you want some water or something? Jack asked. Emmy shook her head. She just needed to think. 2 letters, both written in different centuries. How could those 2 letters have the same signature? Maybe that letter in the church was written by a relative. Lola suggested, maybe the name runs in your family. Maybe, Emmy said, you don't know anything about your dad's family. Nothing, Emmy said. I'd never even seen anything that belonged to him, and I found this box in the attic. What kind of box? Jack asked. Emmy bit her lip. She hadn't shown anyone the box. That first letter she'd gotten had said to keep it safe, but Jack and Lola had accepted her in a way no one else ever had. If it wasn't safe with them, it wasn't safe with anyone. Come on! They followed her up the stairs. Even Jack didn't hesitate to go into the room this time. He must have known how important this was to Emmy. She reached past the dust bunnies and old socks under their bed, pulled out the box, and put it on the table. She opened the lid and started arranging the medallions. Lola whispered, when you said you found a box in your attic, this wasn't exactly what I pictured. Do you know what those things are for? Jack asked. Emmy shook her head and started moving the medallions around. I thought they might be some kind of puzzle, but I can't figure out how they fit together. Lola leaned over the table and scrunched up her forehead. She moved a few pieces around and finally put 2 and 2 together. These ones have matching lines. You see that? She pointed to a place where the lines seemed to meet, almost like the hilt of a knife. Emmy looked at her, and she looked closer. She'd seen a hilt like that before. This might be the blade of a knife. Jack added another piece to the top. Emmy's stomach dropped. It wasn't just a knife. It was a dagger. She started pushing more pieces together, shuffling and reshuffling until an image started to form. She put the last 2 pieces in and fit them together like a cross. Instead of random medallions, they now made up a skull with a cross on the right and a dagger on the left. The symbol for the Order of the Black Hollow Lane, of course. These were your dad's? Jack finally asked. He sounded like someone was pinching his windpipe. Emmy nodded. Then he must have been a student here, Jack said. And he must have been a member of the Order. Emmy sat down on the edge of her bed. Her dad was part of the Order of the Black Hollow Lane, just like Jack's dad. Hey, do you think your dad knew my dad? If they were both part of the Order, maybe? I don't think it's a good idea to let anyone know your dad was part of your Order. You're not even supposed to know it exists. Besides, my dad wouldn't talk about it anyway. Membership is supposed to be secret. And he flipped it. He'd flip if I started asking him questions. Do you know who Brother Lola is? Not a clue, Jack picked up one of the medallions. So I guess if your dad went to Wellsworth, that explains why your mum sent you here. I guess so. I wish I could ask her more about it, but she freaks out any time I bring up my dad. It's like she doesn't even want to remember him. She sighed. I wouldn't have even found this box if someone hadn't sent me a letter telling me about it. I just wish I knew why. Lola flung herself back into Victoria's bed. This guy's starting to tick me off. Why all the secrets? Why not send these letters with a return address? Better yet, why doesn't the mystery person just come out and tell you stuff instead of just hinting at it all? Maybe it's just some kind of game, Jack said. Emmy's jaw went right tight. Yeah, well, if it's a game, it's not much fun. Jack and Lola looked at her. I'm tired of playing games, guessing games about my dad. I want to know something real about him, and I want to know if he's still... Her voice cracked. If he's still alive, Jack finished. Emmy nodded. The bell rang outside the school grounds. We'd better go to football practice, Lola said. Coach will kill us if we're late. Emmy couldn't focus at football practice, and she barely ate any supper. She couldn't think about anything but her father, the box, and its connection to her school. His school. Study session seemed to take forever that night. She read the same sentence over and over. This is pointless, she whispered to Jack and Lola. I could be doing something useful right now. She glanced at Madame Boy, who was busy with another student, then quietly got out her laptop. What are you doing? Jack whispered. I'm going to see if there are any lists of school alumni online. Jack shifted in his chair. Oh, I don't think that's what Madame Boyd wants us to be working on right now. If she asks, I'll just say it's for an assignment. Jack raised his eyebrows and Lola gave him a wry smile. I think we've been a bad influence on her, Jack, don't you think? Me? Jack hissed. You're the one. Oh, relax, Lola said. It's no big deal if she misses one night of studying. But it wasn't just one night. The next day, Emmy skipped Latin Society so she could research online again. Soon, she started wandering the school at random missing tutorials and skipping society meetings. She lay awake at night imagining her dad attending classes in the humanities wings or studying in the library. If she could just find something that connected him to Wellsworth, then she could focus on her schoolwork again. Over the next week, Emmy searched every building she could get access to. She looked at every trophy, every plaque, every picture on every wall, but there was no evidence of Thomas Allen anywhere. Emmy's next football practice didn't go very well. Lola seemed to be torn between empathy and irritation, and Emmy knew which emotion would win out in the end, of course. I know this stuff with your dad is rattling you, but you've got to keep your head in the game. Lola banged the locker room door open. Our first tournament is only in a week away. I know, Emmy started, unlacing her cleats. You're still getting used to our style of play. We have to gel together. Otherwise, I said I know. Emmy snapped. Lola tossed her cleats into her bag and muttered something under her breath. Emmy rubbed her eyebrows. Look, I'll be better next time. I'm just distracted. Lola snorted. No kidding. You look. What do you think all this research you're doing is going to prove? I don't know. Emmy slowly unzipped her gym bag. I just want to know something about my dad. But Lola looked warily at Emmy. But let's say you do find more about him. Then what? Just knowing won't bring him back. Emmy ripped her socks off and stuffed them into her bag. Of course she knew her dad wasn't coming back. Lola, I'm not stupid. I didn't say you were stupid. And you can stop trying to talk me out of finding him because I'm not going to stop until I do. Emmy grabbed her towel and marched toward the showers. You mean find out about him, right? Lola said softly. Emmy spun around. What? You said you won't stop until you find him. Emmy stared back at her. I know he's not coming back. Lola picked up her bag and threw it over her shoulder. Sometimes I'm not sure if you do. Tears started prickling at the corners of her eyes, and Emmy blinked them furiously away. I just want to know something about him, Lola. I don't even know what color his hair was. I know, but... No, you don't know. Other players were staring at them now, but Emmy didn't care. You still have a dad. You don't know anything about it. Lola threw her bag back down on the bench. Hey, it's no picnic having my dad 300 miles away. I wouldn't care if my dad was 3,000 miles away, if I could talk to him. If you want to know something about your dad, all you have to do is pick up the phone. I can't even ask my mum because she's hidden everything about him from my entire life. So, what are you telling me? For when? They're the ones you're mad at? Lola picked up her bag and stormed out the changing room. Emmy sat on the bench for a long time. Then she put her towel on her bag and walked back to the Audrey house alone.